What's going on, YouTube? My name is Holliton11, and today this is a little bit something new on the channel. This is not something I normally do on the channel, but what I have here is some vaping products. And I've actually been vaping for quite a while. I just haven't really expressed it on the channel like I am doing right now. And if you're wondering what this is the Smok G150 kit. And on here is the TFV8. But the thing about this TFV8 is that it is, not only is it rainbow, it is also the light up edition. And what me and my friend Bailey have called it the lit edition, because why not? Why not call it the lit edition? Because when you hit it, it's lit. It does pretty good clouds, so. But also what I have here is a pink e-leaf. I'm not sure exactly what this is, but I have the normal TFV8 on here, Big Baby Beast. If both of these are Big Baby Beasts, as you can tell, they're literally the same size. And if you're wondering what I have this vaping on, it is at 60 watts, even though it's backwards. This is 60 watts. I have this at, well, normally I have it, okay, it's at 70 watts. And I just decided to do a review, mostly on both the mod and the tank. Mostly about this one, because this is the one that I like the most. And with this one, there's really nothing special going on with this thing. It does pretty good. The only thing difference, this one has better airflow when it comes to coils. I don't know about vapor. Clouds are there though. And if you're also wondering what juice I am using Candy King Strawberry Watermelon Candy King Strawberry Watermelon Bubblegum. That is what I'm using today. And this is honestly a really good juice. It tastes really good in my opinion. But I do have another juice that is coming in, which I'll most likely do a review on when it comes in. It is called Candy King Batch. And it's basically kind of like a knockoff of Sour Patch Kids. And there's also another juice that I have done on my Instagram that is like sour worms. It's Candy King. I really love Candy King. I think they have really good flavors, and that's why I stick with them. And so let me do a little review on this tank. So, well, both the tank and the mod actually. So this is, like I said, the G150 kit. And I think it has a pretty good menu. There's a lot of stuff you can see on it. I think it's actually pretty bright. It may not, I'm not sure how good the brightness would be outside, but then again, I don't really use this thing outside a whole lot. Because the thing about me and my friend Bailey, or you guys may know him as Backwoods Vapor or War Train, which was his original name, was that he would know that I hate drafts. Like, I hate when there's air in the room, and like, let's say I turn on my fan over here. I don't think you can, well, that's my light. That's probably better lighting. Let me turn on my fan real quick. The thing I hate the most about, like, when you have a fan on or a window open and there's a lot of air going through, I hate whenever, like, stuff like this happens. Well, it's pretty hard to see there, but my fan's starting to kick it up when it literally goes everywhere. Like, I kind of hate that. I don't know why. I think it's just because I like whenever it's so fluid, like it just goes all in one direction. It doesn't just go everywhere, you know. And basically, like I said, that I like this tank. I think it's a really solid tank. Like, I mean, I'm still trying to get into RDAs or rebuilding, you know, like creating, like making your own coils and making, like, basically I like massive clouds or vapor, big amounts of vapor. It's kind of what keeps me on it. Like, I do vaping mostly because of, like, the clouds or vapor production, because I just think it's so satisfying. But there is absolutely, in my opinion, I don't think there's necessarily a downside to vaping. At least when compared to cigarettes. I guess the only downside you can get from it is that it is a whole lot, that it Like, it can be hard to buy. Like, not saying that, it's not just because you'd be under 18 if you're trying this stuff. But, like, the price point, compared to just smoking cigarettes, vaping can devour your money depending on how much you do it. Because, like, take juice, for example. If you keep on, using, like, one bottle of juice and you, like, have to refill your tank or you keep dripping every, like, 5 minutes, like, that's whenever, you're gonna eat up your money. Because stuff like this, Candy King, this is a 100 ml bottle. This has 3 milligrams of nicotine in it. Again, I don't really do it for the nicotine. Again, the nicotine is just something that's just added, I guess. I don't really get a buzz off of it anymore, so it really doesn't matter to me. Like I said, and hold on, here's a little comparison of how much I have been vaping and how much I've been watching videos about this stuff. I'm going to do a couple tricks. My favorite trick by far, by none, is the O's. Like when you make it like a ring. I'd say that's honestly my favorite part of vaping is the tricks. Because it's just so satisfying when you can actually do it. I'll do another one here for you. This is called a Bane. Or this version of this trick is called the Bane. And this version of the trick is called a French inhale, which I believe is probably the first thing that people learn. So if you ever see people doing that, it's called a Bane or a French inhale. Either or. The first one I did is called a Bane, where it kind of goes all out through your mouth and through your nose like this. That was a little bad example. Hold up. Well, I'm not really doing good ones. I'm going to do it with this one. Maybe this one might be better. It's kind of like that. Another one, I haven't really perfected this. It's called the Dragon. I think the problem with my Dragon... Well, I'm going to show you what it... This is my version of when I do it. A little O action in there for you. I can't really do the Dragon very well. But I'm still trying to learn. Like, I know how to do it. It's just like, when it comes out my nose, it kind of goes in, like, one direction. And when it's supposed to go like that, or like that, or whatever. But, like I said, the mod, it's a very basic Smok product. I don't think there's anything bad with Smok. I call it Smok. Some people call it Smoke, but I call it Smok because there is no E at the end. Kind of makes sense. So I call it Smok because there is no E, and plus, the point of vaping is there is no smoke. It's vapor, which is a lot of misconceptions that people are like, oh, it's smoking, you're smoking something. No, because smoke comes from whenever a solid is heated up to a certain temperature to where it becomes a gas. Vapor, or vaping, is when you heat up a liquid to a certain temperature and it becomes a vape, and it becomes vapor. Like that's one thing I hate when people are like, vaping is smoking. It's not. In fact, it may not be completely different, but when it comes to like the health, like it's completely different. Because like smoking, causes damage to your lungs. It can even creates tar in your creates tar. It's just all around bad. Vaping does not do that. There are even studies saying that vaping is actually 95 or even maybe even higher % healthier than smoking, which is like, I don't smoke. I do not smoke, which, a lot of people are like, why are you vaping at such a young age, or why do your parents let you, which by the way, my parents do let me, so, I don't have any problem with me doing this. They've at first they were a little questionable about me doing it, but they came in. My parents even started doing it because they want to try to get off of cigarettes, which I think is a very solid move, because I hate when they smoke cigarettes. In fact, every time they smoke in their garage, they used to smoke in the garage all the time, and every time I went out there, I'd always kind of like try to hold in my breath so I don't get like secondhand smoke and it can do something to my lungs. But ever since I tried vaping, Like, I've just been in love with vaping, probably just because of the satisfaction of it. I know I'm going off on a rant, but it's just something I wanted to say. But again, with the mod, this is a 150 watt mod. It can go up to 150 watts, even though I don't normally go that high, because the coil heads that Smok provides you are not necessarily meant to go up to those kind of wattages, which makes no sense. I guess the only time you'd ever want to go to 150 watts if you have a really good RDA and it can handle it. But other than that, and by the way, this goes up to 75 watts. Not that very high, but I have this at 70 watts, so I'm just about at the max. But I keep it at 70 watts because the coil heads that I have in here. This is, I don't forget what it's called, but it's like three good coils, like 3 coils. And this has 4, actually, this has 3 coils in it. You can't really see it. Actually, you might be able to. Yeah, you can see those 3 coils down in there. This one has 4. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. This one has 3, even though this does have 3 coils, but they're actually bigger than the 4 ones. So this actually has better airflow. This one is more, I guess you could say this is more for flavor than it is clouds, even though in some ways this can be better for clouds. In some ways than others, it can be better for clouds. But I'd say this is mostly for flavor, if you really want that flavor. Another thing, a lot of people like only breathe through their mouth, but if you want the best flavor, all you gotta do is just exhale from your nose, because most of your taste comes from your smell, right? So it kind of makes sense. You get more flavor that way. So that's how you can really taste it. So that way, if you ever want to know if juice is actually good, just breathe out through your nose and you'll know almost instantly. But if you even look on War Train, or Backwoods Vapor as he's now known, me and him have actually discussed saying that there are about 2 flavors that we hate, which is, I think the one I hate the most is going to have to be Jam Monster Grape. There's something about it, I just don't like it. In fact, it actually made me throw up, which is probably why I didn't like it. But at one point in time, it was the only juice I had, so I had to stick with it. But now I have much better flavors like this, and an even better flavor coming in, which maybe sometime this week, I don't know. I don't know if it's even shipped yet. I need to ask my dad about that. But like I said, and this, I'm not really going to do a review on this today. This is very simple. This one, and by the way, I just realized something. This is an internal battery. It does have temperature control. It is regulated. Or is it regulated? I think it means that it doesn't go down in wattage. Like if it's at a wattage, it will stay hitting at that wattage no matter how low the battery is. It will stay that way until it dies. I think this is the same way. But the thing about this is an internal battery. This is not taking 18650s or anything like that. This one does. This is a single 18650 mod. I'll take it out real quick. Pardon me. This, I have a green. I'm not sure. There are different colors. Some colors are better. But I have a green one in here. It is a green 18650. It is a single one. In fact, there is some juice in there that apparently got in there, which I should probably clean because it might be doing something. I should probably clean this mod pretty soon because there's probably thing all over it. But it's got a magnet on it, so don't worry about it not going into place, because most of the times it will, as long as you don't have like the lid going on in a different way. So it clicks. Another thing you should probably think is that the firing button is right there. You can see it. It's a little clicky, but nothing too bad. What? I actually have another TFV8. This one has a rebuildable deck glass on it. You know, because some of these do have rebuildable decks. So if you want to have kind of like an RDA or RDTA, as you might be able to say it. Other than that, but obviously I'm doing the review mostly on the G150 and its tank, because I like the tank a little bit better. The only thing that I don't like about it is that the airflow. I really like airflow. But there are some times where airflow isn't all that good, just having a massive amount of airflow, because it kind of seems like it's kind of hard to breathe in at some points. But this one, I think, has good airflow. It's all around just good box mods. I think both of these are pretty good. Some might be, these are more for like intermediate vapors, you know, people who are into vaping, who are kind of new to vaping, but also kind of know what they're doing. I say I'm kind of more of like an intermediate vapor. I'm not a hardcore vapor like some people are, like maybe people like Backwoods Vapor. He's more of a hardcore vapor than I am. He can probably do way higher wattages and get massive amounts of clouds because his throat and all that can handle it. Unlike me, if I try to do it for too long, I'm gonna cough or whatever. Another thing is that this coil right here, I wasn't too sure because I think it kept on giving me dry hits, and if you don't know what a dry hit is like when the coils in cotton don't have any juice in them. So when you try to hit it, all it does is burn the cotton, and that's what's called a dry hit. You'll know if the dry hit is number one, it's going to burn really badly in your throat, and two, it's gonna have no flavor whatsoever. It's gonna have a burnt flavor, which is how you're gonna know if it's a dry hit. Think this, I haven't had experienced any dry hits with this coil, even, but this is the three coils, and this coil is fairly new. I put it in like 1 or 2 days ago. This one's been in here for I don't even know how long, which is why I put like little holes just so that way the juice can get in a little bit more efficiently, and it doesn't give me any dry hits anymore. But I do know sooner or later I'm going to have to change the coil because this coil has been in here for I don't even know how long. So, yeah, I believe that the A10650 is a very solid mod. I'm going to take the tank off for you. It's probably a little juiced out at the base. But yeah, there's the 510 connection where you put your RDA or your RDA, your tank, or whatever you have. You know, whatever you have will work with this most of the time. It's the 510 connection most of the time. Most of your things are going to work. I think this is like a 26 milliliter. Or, yeah, milliliters. Not milliliters, but it's 26 something. I'm dumb, so I forgot. But I know it's 26. So that's how much it will carry, or not carry, but how much, like, without overhang, that's probably how much this thing does. I don't know about this overhangs just a little bit, if you can see that. It does overhang. So maybe if you really want to use this mod, you can try to look it up. It's an E-leaf. Yeah, all I know is that's an E-leaf. Just look up E-leaf. Just look up E-leaf mod until you see something that kind of looks like this. It's got the little E-leaf logo on the back. And this is what the front of it looks like. And by the way, there is one problem. I'm not sure this is necessarily, you know, very specific to this mod, but I believe this mod has been around for maybe like a couple months. And yeah, there's V150 and little holes for battery venting. And but if you can notice right there where the charging port is, there is a little piece missing. I know where that piece is. Here it is, right here. It's a little like kind of like a little guard, you could say. It's been coming off, so it's been really hard for me to charge this thing. Sometimes it needs to be in a certain position for it to charge. It wasn't like this before. It just started doing this. Maybe it's been doing this, not for a whole long time, but it could be that it's been charged so many times that that thing usually comes out. Like, let's say if I were to charge it, no, like, see, it is charging. You can tell it's charging by the little thing going up and down. But the thing is that you saw the guard was in there. You see a little silver piece that was in there before. What would happen is that if you take it out, you see there's no guard right here. You can see it right there. I'm going to try to focus maybe a little bit. Okay, it won't focus, but, you know, there's a guard. It's not too hard to get out. All you got to do is get your fingernails in there, and you can pull it right out and just put it right back in if you really wanted to. Just pop. Hold up. Sometimes you gotta get into certain positions so it'll actually go in straight. And there it is. It pops right back in. The only problem is that when you take it out, it's going to come out. I'm gonna wipe the base off real quick because that has some juice on it. Same with this. It's got some juice in the bottom of the tank. But I really like the light edition. I really like this mod. Again, the only problem with the mod I can say, or at least that one problem, And honestly, this thing I think may have better battery life than this, even though it's internal. Even though this is an internal battery, but granted, this is a bigger mod. It's probably got a bigger battery than this would, even though it's just a single 18650. I think I get better battery life on that, even with that charging problem. But then again, they're both at pretty good batteries. If you look there, you can see the little battery. It's like just a little bit down. This one is, okay, I put the new coil on, I don't really care. And you can see it's down just a little bit, not too much. Like I said, flavor and clouds are on point, but hopefully, I'm not saying I am, but hopefully I can get a new box mod from my boy Bailey, because his birthday's coming up, and I kind of gave him a whole bunch of vaping stuff. Let's just say around $400 worth of vaping stuff. Like, and both of those were mods. I gave him a Zurich X. I forgot what kind it was, but it was a Zurich X. And then I gave him a mech mod, which I forgot what it was called, but it was a mech mod. And he kind of owes me some stuff, so he said that maybe for his birthday he can try to get me a new mod. But he did find this one mod that he really likes, and he was just like, sorry bro, I really want this mod, so I may not be able to get your mod right away. But he did say he'll try to get me something. The one thing he did suggest that he might get me the TFV8 Prince, which honestly I've been looking into that tank, and it does seem like a really good tank. It seems like a pretty big step up from the TFV8. He actually has something called a TFV8 Cloud Beast King, which is massive. It is way bigger than the TFV8, even though the TFV8 to some people may look a little bit bigger than some tanks. But trust me, it's way bigger. Like, even the glass is just maybe around the side, maybe around that size. Let's just say that. The glass itself is probably from here, from the bottom of it, to like right there, right where the top fill is. Right where that top fill is. That's how big, and probably bigger for all I know. But both of these mods, especially this one, is a really solid mod. I think Smok, especially with their newest release, this isn't a new release by the way. Like, I think one of their newest releases is like the iPriv or something like that. It's got like voice recognition. You can like talk to it, I guess. You can literally talk to your vape. I don't know how you'd really do that. Or what exactly it does. I haven't really looked into it, but I think overall, this is a good tank this is a good tank. The TFV8 has always been a favorite for a very long time. A lot of times the TFV8 is people's go-to tank if they just want something pretty simple that does good clouds, it's got good flavor, and it's not that hard to work with. I think that's why a lot of people like the TFV8 or even Smok products in general, because a lot of their products are very simple. They do good clouds, they got good tanks, they got good coils, at least for the most part. Some of their coils are a little bit questionable, like this double one. This double coil is actually fairly new, but the thing I do have against this coil, not necessarily, I have a feeling that the major problem I have with this coil, and I'm going to get to that in a second, but the problem with this is that I like airflow. This does not have good airflow. You can even see how much space they could have put it. They could have made this coil a whole lot bigger. But I'm assuming that's mostly for flavor, which is probably why they made it so small, because it was mostly for flavor. But the problem I had with this coil, which I can actually read what kind of coil this is, if I can find it. This is a 0.5 ohm coil. And the thing I hate about this is that this thing absorbs so much juice that it leaks to the bottom, you know, where the airflow is, and it just creates a whole bunch of spit back. It does not hit well at all. It just feels like that little... it just doesn't feel, it doesn't vape smooth. It just absorbs so much juice is my guess. My guess is that it absorbs so much juice that it just leaks to the bottom, and then it creates a whole bunch of problems, and you got to like blow into your tank to get all the excess juice out, but it keeps on going and going, and it's got too annoying, and I just said, you know what, I do not like this coil. This coil is not good at all. I don't know if it's just mine, because probably, I did have a double coil at one time. It worked pretty good. Again, I just didn't like the airflow. But other than that, I'd say most of Smok's products are pretty good. I even have this, this thing has been through the rough. As you can see, that thing's complete, the coil, not necessarily the coil, but the cotton in there is just atrocious. It's been used so many times, I just had to replace it. Like, you could even see how bad the coil is on the side. Whoops. The thing is actually so juicy, because this thing was actually put in not too long ago, but the freaking, you could even tell how bad that is. Like, so bad. Like, this thing has just been through the rough. That thing's been used so many times. I actually have another coil over here somewhere. Oh, dang. Okay, there's actually some leakage with that coil. I'm going to have to clean that. Oh, here it is. This is the coil that I used to use on this tank, which I replaced. It was actually this one. It doesn't look as bad compared to the other one, but this thing backfires or overfires. What happens is that even after you've hit it, it kind of gives that little like I think you can actually hear it a little bit with this one if you hold it long enough. No, this one doesn't do that. I think it might be this one. No, neither of them really do it, but basically after you've even hit it, it like has that like little, you kind of hear it. You can kind of hear it still firing even after you've let go of the button. Like, it's kind of like the coils are still heated even after you press it, which is not good at all, because it's just not good. But like I said, overall, I think these are really good mods, good tanks. I am very looking to upgrade to the TFV8 prints pretty soon, maybe sometime next week, maybe sometimes in like 2 weeks, maybe, if my friend can at least get me a tank. Honestly, I'm actually kind of been looking into it. If he can just give me the TFV8, the mod I've actually been wanting to get, and I've even told him this, we even had a discussion about it, about what I'd want. I told him, at first I wanted just the normal T-Prib, because I thought that was a really solid mod. I really liked it. I liked the lights. It came with a TFV8, which is my boy. I love my boy. I love TFV8. But the only problem is that they're so common nowadays. You know, you can get much better flavor and much better clouds with other tanks. Even stuff that's not even Smok products. But I'm sorry, I haven't really been looking at the camera. I'm sorry about that. I've mostly been looking at my screen just to see what happens. And actually, backwards Vapor, or Bailey, as he's known by his real name, is actually texting me right now. But I'm going to get done with this review, kind of like let you know what's happening in my life. Right now, vaping is kind of my life right now. I love vaping. I just love it. So sorry about that. My friend Bailey actually called me while I was doing the review. But like I was saying, honestly, all I really want, like I was saying, the mod I originally wanted was the T-Prib, because I really liked the way that it looked. It had LEDs on it. It came with a TFV8, which, like I said, is a tank that I really love. But the thing about the mod that I've been wanting to get now is called the it's called the T-Prib 3. And if you're wondering, but there is no T-Prib 2. That's the weird thing. But I've been actually reading it, and I believe they said that the reason why it's called the T-Prib 3 instead of the T-Prib 2 is because it holds three 18650 batteries. So it's kind of like T-Prib 3 battery, or T-Prib triple battery. That's kind of like what it's trying to say. But the thing about that is that the mod comes with a TFV8 prints, which is basic, like I said earlier, which was basically. Sorry, I just got a notification on my phone. Basically, just a very pretty big step up from the TFV8. I think it's maybe a little bit around the size of the TFV8, or the TFV8, but I think it is bigger, because I believe the bubble glass that comes with it does hold like 8 mils of juice, and this only holds 5. So basically, the tank's maybe around that bigger. So basic glass piece maybe around that bigger, and I'm not even including the top part. I just mean like maybe around that, or maybe even up to here. Honestly, who knows? Because I really don't have a very big size comparison compared to it. But like I said, my boy Bailey, honestly, like I don't even need a new mod. Honestly, I feel like this is pretty solid. The only problem is charging. But also there probably would be overhang, which may or may not be a problem. I don't really care. I mean, for this, there's not a whole lot of overhang, so I'm definitely not going to use it on this. Just with the TFV8, there's pretty not a bad overhang, but there is some overhang. But with this mod in general, I don't really care about the overhang. I don't really even like touch the tank by itself while it's on anyways. Same with this. I mostly just fire it like this. I get pretty good clouds. But I believe that will okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this review. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Click the like button, subscribe, comment. Doesn't really matter to me. You can show your support if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine too. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.